Immigration is clearly front and center in the conversation. Republican frontrunner Donald Trump with some tough talk about the nation's undocumented immigrants, and he's not backing down. Watch.
We have to straighten out the problem with illegal immigration. It starts with getting the bad ones, you know, the gangs in, you saw it, the gangs in Baltimore. You know that, right? Did you see the people? You have illegal immigrants in many cases. In Chicago, illegal immigrants. The bad ones are getting out fast. Day one. If I win, day one of my presidency, they're getting out. We're getting them out, and we're getting them out fast.
But, of course, he's getting criticism on his stance as well, both from Democrats and even from some fellow Republicans.
We're a diverse country. We have, that's a virtue. That's a strength of our country. And I'm proud of the fact that my children have a Mexican-American mom. As American as anybody else, loves this country as much as anybody else. Believes in the shared values of this great country. And my children are blessed to have that heritage.
Joining me now, former Pennsylvania Senator and Republican presidential candidate once again, Rick Santorum. Senator, good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Martha.
So what do you make of those two statements in terms of where these two who are in spot one and spot two at the moment are defining this conversation?
Well, I mean, I think I would actually agree with both of them. I mean, we have to remove criminal elements in this country who are here illegally. The Obama administration released 30,000 criminals who are illegal immigrants back into society, didn't deport them. Didn't do anything to even, force these other countries from taking these people back. There are laws in place, or authority in place to have the president be able to, for example, suspend visas from countries who won't take back the illegal immigrants that are in this country who are criminals. But the president doesn't use that. So it's an absolutely legitimate issue to say that we need a president who's serious about getting criminals out of our country who are here illegally. And as far as diversity, I'm the son of an immigrant. My father was born in Italy, and diversity is a great thing in this country. But I don't think that's the issue. The issue is, do we have a need for over 1 million legal immigrants to come into this country a year, and last year 700,000 illegal immigrants, and what do we do? How does that impact labor markets and obviously importantly working families? If you look at the last 25 years, Martha, wage earners in this country have seen an increase of on average 4 cents a year in their pay. That we're bringing in 35 million people. We have more immigrants in this country, percentage-wise, than at any time in this country in 105 years. I mean, this is an issue.
The two real hot buttons here is this issue of anchor babies, which Donald Trump says, it looks to me like maybe we could find a loophole, essentially, is what he's saying, in this law where some of these cases are concerned where people literally hop the border right before they're about to have the baby, and then that child is, on our list in terms of the benefits they'll receive for the rest of their lives. The other thing is what you just touched on, which is to basically curb and, put curbs on the amount of legal immigration that we allow into this country. And those are two areas that I think it appears Jeb Bush feels like, might be tough for Republicans to win the election if they take that kind of stance.
Look, Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz. I mean, Ted Cruz wants to double the number of legal immigrants that come into this country. So there are a lot of Republicans who believe that we need more immigration. Senator Cruz wants to quadruple the number of H-1B visas coming in this country. So there are people across the Republican spectrum who are for more immigration. I would make the argument that what we have to look at is how does it affect American workers? And if you look at wages, if you look at the fact that there's so many people who are lower skilled workers, particularly youth, minorities, not just blacks, but also Hispanics, who have record high rates of unemployment right now. I mean, this is a serious issue, and the fact that we're bringing both legal and illegal in such large numbers is an issue that I think has gotten the American public's attention. And you have, Donald Trump and I are really the only two that have out there and said that we have to do something to work in the best interest of American workers.
Yeah, you are on the record as having said that. In terms of the anchor baby issue, is it okay for people to jump over the border, have a child, and then have that child receive the benefits in this country? According to the experts that we've heard from, it's clear in the Constitution that that's absolutely allowed.
Well, it's not clear in the Constitution. You have a lot of legal scholars who will make the opposite argument, that in fact the Congress has the right to define what citizenship is, and the Congress has the right to look at the 14th Amendment and interpret it and pass a law that says that that children born in this country to illegal immigrants are not citizens. I think it's absolutely proper for the Congress to do so. I think it's within their right to do it. I know there's scholars who disagree with that, but my feeling is that you come into this country, you're not under you're not under the laws of this country if you're breaking the law to be here in the first place.
All right. Why do you think, you say I've been saying the same thing. This is you saying that you have been saying the same thing as Donald Trump for some time. Why is he getting all these crowds and all this attention for something that you feel you've been talking about for a long time and haven't been able to get that attention?
Well, I mean, obviously, Donald Trump cuts a very different profile than I do, and I, give him credit for raising this issue. What I know is that this campaign is still a long way from votes being cast. We're 5.5 months away, and I'm focused on doing what I need to do to win some of these early primary states and have solid policies behind the rhetoric. And I think that really is the difference. If you look at the policies behind the rhetoric, if you look at the record of accomplishment, someone who actually can come here to this town and actually make something happen, I think we've got a very strong and, in fact, unique track record of accomplishment. And I think in the end, that's going to be a winning formula for us.
But I mean, what's your benchmark? At what point do you say, you know what, if I'm not raising myself in these polls, it's not worth it?
The only poll that matters, I mean, look, Martha, 4 years ago, I was at 2% in the national polls 2 weeks before the Iowa caucuses, and I won the caucus. In fact, on caucus day, there's a survey that came out that had me 4% in the national polls. I don't really pay attention to what these polls say. I pay attention to the voters who matter, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be heading back to Iowa tomorrow. We're going to knock out our 99 counties here shortly and go for another lap after that.
That's how you did it last time. We'll see if it works for you this time. Senator, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha.
There's a